neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step towards the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle, the tireless exertions and passionate concern of dedicated individuals. I think all of you exemplify what he was talking about. In these tough times, you've continued to forge ahead. You've kept your businesses going. You've been moved forward by that hope that we can make our world a better place for our kids and for our children's children. I think if there's a crisis that's gripping our country right now that's every bit as challenging as the economic crisis, it's a crisis of confidence. That nagging fear that perhaps we might be the last generation of Americans that will enjoy a better quality of life than our parents and grandparents had, that somehow our kids are condemned to a nation that's in perpetual decline. I don't buy that, and neither do the people that I serve. I consider myself very blessed to be able to serve the great people of our state. In times of adversity, we don't go back, we go forward. And I thank you also very much for going forward, for moving forward, for making the sacrifices and exertions necessary to give our children a better quality of life. Thanks very, very much. Now the fun part. I will not be taking questions about the Prince George's County Executive's race. So it is exciting. Anybody thoughts? Question? Yes, sir.
This is maybe beyond your purview, and that it has to do with federal funding of education. And I know there have been talk about some additional stimulus money, which in last year helped local school systems around the country. And I know it's been kind of languishing recently in Congress, is my understanding. But in your work with our congressional delegation, is there any progress on what's the outlook for that? Part of my personal career is I worked for 32 years in the local school system before going to work for the foundation schools. And I just know many people who are having their positions cut, et cetera, to keep within budget constraints at this time. And it's a much needed resource. I don't know if you have any word on what the outlook for that might be.
Yeah, I think I would hope that Congress is able to do something. Right now, there's a strange there's a lot of second guessing going on. It's like when Superman saves planet Earth from a giant meteor and nobody sees it. What gratitude is there in that? I think right now it's amazing to me how quickly we forgot just how tenuous we were hanging on in January when the president was sworn in and he had to move forward, he had to do the stimulus. What would have happened if the TARP dollars, which actually George Bush started in motion, if they hadn't done that? I think that the president did exactly what needed to be done to stave off the second Great Depression, and yet now you hear the clamor that the biggest threat to us is spending. Yes, we must be fiscally responsible, but in extraordinary times, you should take extraordinary measures that all of the economists were urging be taken to stabilize financial markets and to stimulate the economy. And part of that stimulation involved protecting the mission of public education, so that was not a casualty. Part of it was also making sure that whatever job gains there were in the private sector were not totally offset by county governments and state governments that had to contract and retreat from the important mission of education, and to make sure that we did not throw people out of hospital beds while we were going through that. So I really hope that something is done to help states step up into this. Yesterday there was a meeting with a number of congresspeople and senators actually, and the National Governors Association, and there are men and women, Republicans and Democrats, but they were all united in clamoring for additional help because the recession has not ended, and yet the stimulus dollars, the recovery and reinvestment dollars, are coming to a conclusion. And every state is facing either a mighty big step down, if not a cliff, when those things run out. And you already see the county governments straining to maintain their maintenance of effort in public education. So I can't handicap it. I would have thought that the Medicaid dollars would have already been passed by now. Unfortunately, I think we need to get up to the edge of the precipice in Washington before they're able to come together and do what needs to be done. But I'm a professional optimist. I would put our chances of getting some additional education funding and Medicaid match funding, which helps indirectly that education mission. I would give it about a 60% shot of happening before September. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Hi.
My name is Kalima Matthews with Signal Financial Federal Credit Union, and I have a question for you about the future. I appreciate the statistics about how well the state is doing in Prince George County. My question is, what is your vision, should you be elected for the next 4 years? What is your vision for Prince George County in the area of businesses? Montgomery County has a technology corridor, and I understand that Hopkins is coming there to build a great, big, huge facility, and we see all the business coming in along the Dulles corridor. What is your vision for businesses in Prince George County? I understand Landover, where the mall was, will be redeveloped with offices, and there's a lot of different development coming to Prince George County, but what is your vision to bring the businesses in, and will we be labeled like a, I don't know, like they have technology, are we looking to attract, or what is your vision to attract businesses here in light of the development projects that are coming? That's my first question, and I do have another.
It's a big one. Let me share with you the macro vision for the state, and every county plays a role in making that one Maryland vision come true. We sit atop, at a time in history when we have never been more challenged to come up with solutions, with the science, with the discovery, with the new cures. We also happen to, of all the global things that threaten us, right? Global pandemic, global climate change, global resource shortages, water, food, and the like. At that very point in time, we sit atop, as a state, the science and security corridor of the United States of America. And some would say that Washington's even become the financial center of the United States of America. In fact, some say it's on Tim Geithner's desk. But so the vision for our state is one of an innovative economy where the strongest horses we have, if you will, the sectors that we are most competitive in have to do with science and security, with healing, with biotech, with life sciences, and with security. The 21,000 jobs that are coming as part of the cybersecurity vision that we have, which 21,000 jobs to Fort Meade. It was announced quietly on a Friday afternoon. We read all about the 300 jobs from Northrop Grumman going to the other side of the Potomac, but in the clandestine service, they wouldn't allow me to do a ribbon cutting for the 21,000 jobs that are coming to Fort Meade. And in Prince George's County, some of the assets that we need to do a better job of leveraging and connecting to are places like NASA Goddard, businesses large and small that are going to be involved with NASA Goddard, and because of the Hubble mission and because of Wallops, that are going to be involved in servicing satellites. There's a lot of companies already here. Maybe some of you go to the aerospace lunch that happens every month in Greenbelt. Some 400 people, businesses that are engaged every day in that aspect of our security and science. Doing a better job of leveraging the University of Maryland. The largest piece of your state government is higher ed, and it's located here in Prince George's County. And yet too often we act as if there's a moat around, no pun intended, as if there's a